live, so you'll see we're going live. Yay, that was so fast. YouTube is so great. Hello, hello, YouTube audience. Good morning from Toronto, Canada. We were just discussing time differences here because I think our email needs to be clearer about the time zone from Canada, but we have a couple lovely people here today and a couple of lovely teachers. So we're going to have a nice conversation. So this is the RCIIS Conversation Club. RCIIS is an international English school located in Toronto, Canada. So it's 8 a.m. here in Toronto, but as I heard, it's 6 in the morning for Areli in Mexico and 7 p.m. in Vietnam for sun. So we're all over the place. But yes, RCIIS is an English school in Toronto. It's focused on English speaking classes and academic English classes. All of the classes we offer are currently online now because of the pandemic, with flexible schedules morning, afternoon, and evening. And the prices are lower than ever because of the online nature of the classes. So it's a great time to study English right now. And yeah, so this is the RCIIS English Conversation Club. So this is just a fun social event that we host at RCIIS. My name is Lesley. I'm one of the English speaking teachers at RCIIS. And we also have another English teacher here from RCIIS named Maxx. Hi, Maxx.
Hello, everybody.
And then we have two lovely participants today, and I apologize to other participants who may be thinking it's at a different time, this meeting, but hopefully you'll be able to register for another upcoming club and we'll meet you soon. But we'll have a nice little intimate conversation today about the topic of spring. So I chose the topic of spring for today because this past Saturday was officially the first day of spring in the Northern Hemisphere, including Canada. And we've been having really nice, sunny, warm weather since the weekend in Toronto. So it's very much on my mind. I'm also thinking about the 1-year mark of the pandemic. So it's an interesting time of year for us all. And yeah, I'd like us to go around and just introduce ourselves. We can say our name, the country we're from, and a little something about spring. So you can say your favorite spring activity. How do you feel about spring? You can tell us a little story about something that happened to you during spring. Anything relating to that topic. So how about we start with Maxx?
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Maxx. I'm from Canada. I live in Toronto now, but I grew up in a northern city in Ontario. So spring happens a little bit later there than it does in Toronto. So I'm used to spring happening like end of April or May than I am in March. I've lived here for a long time now, though, so now I'm becoming used to March, spring. I have very conflicting feelings about springtime, which maybe I'll talk about in a little bit more detail. On one hand, I like springtime activities and I like the sunny weather, but there's a lot of things about spring that make me frustrated, particularly now because of the pandemic. Maybe I'll get more into it as we talk, but yeah, that's my introduction.
Nice. Okay, great. Maxx, you teach a English speaking class in the evening at our
Yes, that's right. Yeah, for work, I teach English speaking level 3, which I believe is the highest level that we offer at RCIIS, from 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. Toronto time. So if you ever want to join a speaking class and those times work for you, we'd be happy to have you join. There's a lot of people in my class, a lot of people from Ecuador right now, but also people from Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela.
Nice. Yeah, I think level 3 is maybe currently the top level in the evening, but we offer higher levels sometimes in the mornings and different times as well. Nice. Okay, Max. Let's hear from Areli. Hi, Areli.
Hello, everybody. Well, I'm Areli. I'm from Mexico, and I really like spring because I really like sunny days. Of course, I don't like to be out in the street like with all the sunlight in my face, but it's funny because, well, I also enjoy cool days, but of course, here cold days are not that cold. For example, like in Canada or in other northern countries. So I really like spring because also all the trees are like flourishing. We have flowers, different types of plants. I don't like insects too much, but it's funny.
Yeah, so it's a time of, like you were saying, some flowering trees and flowers, insects. Does it we get sometimes you call spring showers, so rain in Canada in the springtime. Do you get more rain in the spring in Mexico?
Kind of, not really. I think maybe in May, it's when rain appears. Yeah, mostly. But sometimes on spring. Well, at the beginning of the spring.
Yeah, I think Max, we have the saying, April showers brings May flowers.
Exactly.
So April's maybe the associated month with rain, whereas maybe it's May in Mexico. So that's neat. Cool. Okay. Let's hear from Sun.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Sun Nguyen. I'm come from Vietnam. About spring, yeah, kind of tropical spring, because Vietnam is tropical weather. Actually, some point I like, but some point I dislike about spring in Vietnam. I can talk about some point I like first. Springtime, it means in Vietnam we have many holiday in that time, because we have Lunar New Year in spring, and at that time we have a long holiday, about 2 weeks for holiday, and we have many activity with our family. At that time we can stay together. We have kind of very warm and very close party with very close people in the family, and we can share our very happy time. Yeah, and we can enjoy food, many kind of cake and food we make at the spring, at the beginning of spring. Yeah, in spring we always have some kind of activity. We go to outside into come to the pagoda. Yeah, that kind of religion, I think so, in Vietnam. Yeah, I can go to there and keep my mind feel very peace. Yeah, yes, that's a very good time. Some point I dislike is about the weather. Yeah, it's not too hot, but humidity is very high, about 80 to 90%. So sometimes you feel a bit sweat. Yeah, not to how to say, if I because humidity is high, but it can make your the floor very wet.
Oh,
Yeah. So you can feel a little bit uncomfortable about that. Yeah. Yes, that's my some point for spring in Vietnam.
nice. Well, you guys have excellent English speaking skills, by the way. Your vocabulary is awesome, both of you. So good work. Yeah, I hate humidity as well. I don't like summer as much as other people because I hate sweating. So I think Vietnam's tropical spring would be difficult for me. I've been talking a lot about spring with friends this year because of the pandemic, I'm very focused on the natural world. I'm noticing birds, trees, in a way that I didn't in previous years. And so I've been talking with friends, and lots of people seem to have spring as a favorite season, but I love December with the exciting lead up to Christmas, because Christmas was my most important family time. And I love the romance of snow and lights and candles and the music and food that's so comforting at that time of year. So I guess my favorite season is before Christmas, just the month of December for me. But definitely, I feel like spring is important for Canadians because the winter is so long and can be depressing in Canada. There's actually a condition that is an acronym. It's SAD, which stands for seasonal affective disorder, because some people, their mood is harmed or influenced in a negative way by by a season. And in Canada, winter makes people feel blue or sad or depressed. So spring is a really important time, I think, for many Canadians to feel like, oh, there's sunlight again. There's a little warmth in the air. There's a hope for our very short 2-month summer is coming. So yeah, and I think this year, pandemic spring is important for people around the world to feel, oh, I can go outside and, safely see a friend at a distance and feel a little more hopeful. Do you guys feel different about spring this year because of the pandemic? Or do you feel
I
the
think
same?
that it's not really like a different time now, because I consider that here in Mexico we have template weather, so it's not a very like huge change, but of course it is like funny to enjoy going outside, especially because well, in some zones of the country it's like more cold. It's colder.
Yeah.
And so it's like maybe you can enjoy like some ice cream, I don't know, outside, just going around in the city. Well, I think also because here in the city, I consider that if it is cold, it means that maybe it will rain. So with rain, you can go out like too often. Also, many of the shops around, they are like wet. Also, like from the outside and you are like with your umbrella. It's not that comfortable, I think.
But the the cooler or colder air is refreshing for you in Mexico. So you like that?
Yeah, I think. Especially when the air is cold. I think I like that.
It's a
that
relief.
part.
Canadians
Yeah.
are like, let's get warmer. And you're like, yay, it's cooler.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's also it also depends on people.
Yeah. Do you feel differently this year, Sun, that it's like 1 year of pandemic, or spring, you're noticing things more this year because of the pandemic?
Me?
Yeah. Or do you feel it's the
Uh,
same as previous years?
uh, for me, I think actually for me it's not too different because because when I work as a software developer, so I still go to the office because in Vietnam we have not locked down much. Yeah, I think it for years it take about 2 or 3 months we locked down. Yeah. So I work from home. Yeah, that's okay for me. But for another time, I can go to the office normally. Yeah. But yeah, sometimes we cannot go outside to some our activity because they try to prevent people, make a group of people. Yeah. One more point about the pandemic last year because when the city locked down, my children stay at home and learn from home. Also, I think that's a very hard time for me and my wife also, because when a kid stay at home and study at home, many noise, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes I cannot work. I cannot focus on working because I need something. I need help. Can you see it? And can you do some homework for me? Is it something like that? So kind of noise, I think. But now it's better.
Now your kids are back at school?
Yeah, back by the
Yeah.
school. Yes.
Yeah.
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 I hope the city, our city will not lock down again, and the kid can go to school from about 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. per day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's some
that's
good
better.
time for you to get work done.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Max? Do you feel differently about spring this year?
Usually in the spring, I make an effort to take a trip abroad. Or at least I've done that before the pandemic, the last couple of springs before that. However, last year and this year, I haven't been able to. So I feel like spring has been really long with no break, because usually I take 1 month off in March or April. Because there's Family Day in Canada. There's Family Day in February and Easter in April. But otherwise, there's not a lot of breaks or vacations in the springtime here. So I feel like it's a long stretch with no change in routine.
Oh, well, I guess everyone's going to have a really amazing vacation once the world gets vaccinated. So where will you travel first, Max?
That's a good question. I'd like to go to South America. I have lots of friends in Brazil. It would be nice to visit. I've never been to Europe before. Maybe Europe. My girlfriend's family is from the Philippines, so maybe the Philippines.
Nice. And why do you choose spring to travel? Is it the weather or the prices or?
Yeah, I think it's a mix of both. I don't know. I feel like it's a nice maybe introduction to summertime after a long winter, sort of like a treat you give yourself. But the price is definitely good. Historically, I've been a little bit less busy in the springtime, so that's been a factor as well.
Yeah, I think people do choose. I mean, summer is often a time when people in Canada travel because they might have, you know, the kids have a break from school. But I think people try spring and fall sometimes because less busy, maybe better weather conditions, maybe. Japanese students have always recommended Japan in the spring for the cherry blossoms and everything. Areli, have you been to Canada before?
No, I have never.
Where
I
would you?
really would like.
You'd like to? Where would you like to travel? Is there a country you'd like to visit after the pandemic?
Well, I have never thought about it. Well, of course, yes, like a dream, like I will go to, but that's it. I really like to go to Europe one day, hopefully, and of course, like Canada. Some of my friends have gone to Canada, so I really like to meet it because they say that it's a really beautiful country. Also, the weather, like it is like, well, at that time when they went to, it was really nice. So I really hope to go one day, and of course to some other parts of the world, but well, it will be sooner or later.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, son? Do you have any post-pandemic travel plans?
Actually, no, but I expect to visit Africa if I have time. Yeah, because I have been to. I live in ASEAN. I have been to Australia. I have been to Europe, Germany. I have been to USA and Tokyo, but I never been to Africa, any country in Africa. So I want to visit any country in Africa. So I can go to five how to say five
Continent.
Continent. Yeah, continent in the world. Yeah, yeah.
That
So
would
I
be
hope,
really cool. Yeah.
yeah, one time I can visit Africa.
Like Areli, I think about travel sort of like a dream. I never get to travel, but I feel like I get to travel from meeting international students like you guys and watching really good TV and documentaries. I discovered a new show that I recommend to you guys. It's called Little America, and it's on the streaming site Apple Plus, which I don't subscribe to. I subscribe to Netflix, but Apple Plus gives you 1 week free trial. So I subscribed and then quit. And you guys should do it too. There's this show, Little America. It's, I think, 8 episodes, and each episode is a different story about a real immigrant to America story. And so there's different cultures depicted. There's a Latin family, East Asian family. there's two stories about people coming from Africa. So that's what I was thinking of. And I watched one episode last night about a woman who comes from Uganda to Louisville, I think, and becomes successful as a baker. She bakes cookies, and it's a really nice, inspiring show. Have you watched it or heard about it, Maxx?
I haven't. Excuse me, I haven't. But stuff like that is always interesting for me. I used to like watching documentaries made by Vice, where they'd give like a different short, really specific topic about people from different countries or people traveling to different places. So that sounds like it would be, to use the expression, right up my alley.
Yeah. Awesome.
I would be interested, but yeah, I've never seen it.
Areli or Sun, have you heard of this show, Little America?
No, I have never. No, but it really sounds interesting.
I'll write it in the chat. So Little America, on Apple Plus TV.
Okay.
Yeah. You can just do 1 week free trial and then get rid of it. Watch that show and then leave. But yeah, I thought of that because after watching it, I think, ooh, Africa is such an interesting area of the world. Great. So let's talk about some spring traditions or spring activities. Like, what do you often do in the spring that's unique to that time? Sun was talking about some interesting cultural traditions, celebrations. For me, my sort of family religious background is Christian, although I don't, as an adult, practice Christianity. I don't go to church, but Easter was a special weekend in my family for coming together with the family and eating delicious food. The traditional food my family would eat was lamb, which is maybe because my father is from Scotland. So maybe that's a more kind of British, Scottish style Easter meal. We'd have lamb and mint as the kind of flavoring. And I thought that was really special. And then, of course, children in Canada who celebrate Easter know about the Easter Bunny and collecting chocolate eggs that are hidden around the house. So that was always a fun part of Easter for me as well. Was that did you celebrate Easter, Maxx?
Yeah, not as a religious holiday. My family isn't particularly religious, but it would be like the springtime equivalent of Christmas. I've never really had much of a sweet tooth, so my siblings would kind of do the candy hunt, but luckily my mother had the foresight. She'd like hide books that I wanted or toys that I wanted around the house, and then have to look for them.
Wow, toys and books. That sounds better than chocolate eggs, I think. Yeah.
Because I've never really liked chocolate that much, so it was never a really exciting holiday for me in that way.
Did you have a traditional Easter meal, like with ham or turkey or fish or something?
No, we didn't really have like a meal beforehand or something. Sometimes my grandparents would. I guess they still do, but I'm not. I never get together with my whole family for a dinner at Easter. Again, maybe it's because we're not very religious. One thing I do remember though, because I went to a Catholic school, is on Ash Wednesday.
That sounds right.
Okay. On Ash Wednesday, we would eat pancakes. I don't remember what the significance or symbolism of that was. But at my school, they would have a pancake breakfast on Ash Wednesday.
That sounds right. That sounds a little familiar. Yeah. Okay. Areli, do you celebrate Easter?
No, not really. Well, not the same way, like with the bunny and the hide and seek.
Yeah.
things.
The Easter egg hunt, because you are
Okay.
hunting for searching
Yes,
for
yes.
eggs. Yeah.
Not really like that, but as well, my family is like kind of religious. So, but I'm not really into it. So it's just like the kind of food we eat, and I consider that's the unique part here.
Is the food.
Yeah, the
And
kind of food we eat.
And what types of food would you eat?
It's almost the same as Christmas, I think. We eat like fish, and with, well, it is like it has a way to be prepared. I don't know the name, but fish. At the end is fish. And well, here in Mexico, it's also common to eat mole, and with some vegetables in it, like in this Easter time. And that's it, basically.
That sounds nice. Yeah. And Sun, what do you celebrate other kind of traditions at this time in Vietnam?
In Vietnam, we most of the people is Buddhism. Sorry.
They're Buddhist, yeah.
Buddhist,
Mm-hmm.
Buddhist people. So we have no celebrate for Easter, but I think now we have many interference culture between ASEAN and and another country from Western. So for younger people, they can especially for younger people with lover, they can celebrate by themselves. They go out and have dinner with each other, so kind of activity to celebrate, to working together and chatting with each other. Yeah, I think so. But for traditional family, we have no celebrate for Easter in Vietnam.
Yeah. That's so interesting. So Easter as a kind of Western holiday becomes just an opportunity for a couple, a romantic couple, to go out, have a date.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. That's like I think that happens on other sort of Western holidays.
And Christmas too.
Yeah, like it becomes like a date night for young couples.
that's a chain for a lover. To close together. I think so.
Yeah, whereas in Canada, holidays like Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day even are very focused, like children celebrate a lot. So it's interesting. Are there different you were sort of describing earlier, Sun, what happens in springtime in Vietnam? Are there other celebrations, other specific Vietnamese celebrations at this time?
Spring.
Mm-hmm.
In spring we have Lunar New Year.
Right.
Yeah, and at that time we have about 2 week holiday. That's a very very good time for family, and we can visit our people, our close friend. yeah, to say Happy New Year, or take some wine to say cheer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, keep going. Yeah, please.
Oh, I was just going to say,
Yeah.
this year I have I've met more Persian friends this past year, new people, friends from Iran. And so I learned for the first time this year about their New Year, which was celebrated on the first day of spring, so last Saturday. And this was so shocking to me that because they use a different calendar, this year is 1400.
Yeah.
So they just entered the 15th century. But that only happened about 100 years ago. They changed the date. They changed the year. But I was like, exploded my brain to think that this is year 1400 for Iranians. Yeah. How about Areli, do you have any unique Mexican spring traditions?
Well, maybe I'm not really aware of it, but some people tend to go to the pyramids in Yucatan, and they go for the equinox.
The equinox, spring
Yeah.
equinox. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And they say that it's a really spectacular phenomenon to see like the light through the stairs of the pyramid, because it looks like if a snake is descending. It goes up and down, so it's like really amazing phenomenon. And yeah, it's like kind of a festival, I think, because they have well, of course there's a lot of people, and that's it.
Wow. No, thank you for sharing. I didn't know about the special effect of the light on these pyramids in Mexico. Now I think, ooh, I'm going to go to Mexico next spring. That's my goal now for the equinox. Wow. And Maxx, you said earlier you didn't want to take up too much time, but you had conflicted feelings about spring. So how about you tell us about your inner conflict about the season?
Sure, yeah. Like I said, I really like the warmer weather and more sunlight hours. I usually feel a little bit more energetic. However, in Canada, because all the flowers are starting to grow again and all the trees are starting to grow, there's a lot of pollen in the air. And every time in spring, I have really bad allergies. So for the last 2 weeks or so, I've been really itchy and sort of wheezing between breaths just from all the pollutants and allergens in the air. So even though I like the rebirth of the plants and flowers and trees, I used to garden a few years ago when I had the space. I really like doing that, but it's affecting my health in an unfortunate way.
Seasonal allergies. Oh, yeah, gotta love them. I think it's interesting that, yeah, there's spring allergies, but some people get really bad autumn or fall allergies. Like there's just different allergies all the time. But yeah, that's very uncomfortable. What was I was going to say? Oh yeah, you mentioned gardening. I was talking to my mom. I was thinking, what are some good conversation topics about spring? And I thought, gardening. And she said, oh, no. Gardeners think in Canada about what they want to plant, but it's not safe until, she says, May 24th.
Yeah.
That's the weekend, that's the time when, you know, in Canada, you are safe from frost at night. Because if you plant seeds before then and frost comes, then your plants are not in a good situation.
For hardier plants, you can sort of start them as seedlings inside around this time.
Yeah, and then you move them outside.
Move them outside, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And of course, in Canada at this time, the tulips and I think it's crocuses, or maybe no, daffodils. There's certain bulb flowers that they will start to grow out of the ground at this time. And another sort of wildflower I noticed for the first time this year, they're called snowdrops, and they look like this.
Oh, beautiful.
And I saw them as soon as the snow melted. They're there. So they actually come out of the ground under the snow, and they're little white flowers. So they're called snowdrops. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. These flowers are okay so early in the spring. What types of, are there beautiful trees or plants or animals that come out in the spring in your countries? Maybe Sun, are there special spring wildlife in Vietnam right now?
Vietnam, special tree, or actually, I don't know.
You're like, I'm a software guy. I'm not a plant guy.
Yeah. For me, my special animal is a cat. My cat. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't care much about the flower. So yeah. But it's spring, because the humidity is high. So the tree or many flower grow up at this time. Yeah. So the the scenes are when you go out, you can see the beautiful blue. I mean, the blue of the small tree, small leaf. That very make me feel how to say, feel better. I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
After many hours stay indoor, when we go out, we see that blue with many, I don't know how to describe English, but the color of the very young leaf, I think so.
Yeah.
Young leaf. Yes, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Make me feel the light is really beautiful. I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And how about in Mexico, Areli? You mentioned that there's an increase in insects, maybe. Are there other
Yes.
specific animals, insects, plants that you notice in the spring there?
Yeah, I think that, well, also butterflies. What else? Well, the most common insects, ants. So spiders. I think spiders. There are a lot. And well, animals in general, birds, lizards. Yeah.
Yeah, everything starts to come out again. And yeah, interesting about the birds and butterflies. We exchange them between Canada and Mexico. So you get our birds coming to you, flying south for the winter, and then they come back. That's why actually in Canada we have a term for elderly people who fly south for the winter, we call them snowbirds. Because they fly away from the snow. So my parents, if they go to Florida or they go to Mexico in the wintertime, you could call them snowbirds. The snowbirds in Canada couldn't travel so easily this past winter, but yeah, our birds and butterflies, especially I think the monarch butterfly, is famous for migrating between our countries. So I wish I knew more about monarch butterflies, those orange and black butterflies. Do you notice them a lot in Mexico?
Well, here in Mexico City, they are common, but I think in the place where they are like more common, it's in Michoacan, because it's like the state in which they are like accumulated. So they go there, and in fact it's like I think very recognized, that place, because of that, because you can go there and see all the trees full of monarch butterflies, like they are covered with these butterflies, and they look orange, totally orange.
Oh yeah, that sounds okay. So definitely I'm gonna go to Mexico in the spring in the future.
Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure.
Yeah, that sounds great. How about Max? Do you notice any specific plant or wildlife in the spring that you like?
Nothing specific. Like I mentioned before, I'm from Northern Ontario, so it's when a lot of animals come out of hibernation, and so you can start to worry about bears and stuff like that again. Yeah, seeing the geese fly back north, it's always nice. Nice reminder that summer's coming.
Yeah, I guess in Southern Ontario, the animals are starting to get ready to have babies, but they're not having them yet.
Yeah.
But I saw some deer in a park last weekend, and I was wishing it was later in the spring so I could see baby deer, because that would be really cute.
Was that in Kitchener?
Yeah, it was in Waterloo, at this Rim Park. You know, the Blackberry company, Rim. They built a beautiful park in Kitchener, Waterloo in Ontario, and there's a golf course. And I saw these two grown white-tailed deer, and they were not very shy. I think they've seen lots of people, so they watched me.
There's a place like that I went to near Osaka in Nara. There's a place called Nara Deer Park, and deers just walk up to you and you can pet them. And
it's so unnatural.
Yeah, it seems odd to me because I was always raised to be a little bit weary of animals just approaching you.
Yeah, it feels like there's something wrong with the animal.
Yeah.
They're sick or something. Actually, there was a sign that said, "Do not go near the deer because they might have such stress that it's harmful to them. They could even die if they're too stressed out from humans."
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so I worry about those Osaka deer, but I guess they're used to it. Yeah. Nice. So we talked a little bit about weather earlier on. Sun complained about the humidity in spring. Areli talked about how it's nice when the air is a little cooler. So let's go around and just talk about our favorite weather conditions. Do you like it to be sunny? Do you like it to be hot, cold? What temperature do you like? We can compare the weather conditions in our different countries right now. So Sun, it's evening time in Vietnam. What temperature is it? What is it like outside there right now?
Right now in Vietnam, it's about 22 degree temperature, Celsius degree.
Celsius?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Celsius. Yeah. Humidity quite high, about 70%. Yeah, yeah. And in at that time in Vietnam, it's spring, and the weather a bit warm at noon, but a bit cold in the morning, early morning, and in the evening, it's a little bit cold. Yeah, but the weather will become hotter in summer, maybe 40 degree Celsius, really hot. Yeah, in summer in Vietnam, it's really hot and a lot of rain, and the weather will be better in autumn. It's very dry. The temperature is about 25 degree, and very dry. The almost a day we have sun. Yeah, in autumn, sunshine always the weather is always have sunshine, and so my favorite season is autumn. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Summer,
like the
summer is, yeah.
the dry but
I
not
like
too
autumn.
hot. Yeah. Nice.
Yes.
How about you, Areli? What's your preferred weather conditions?
Well, I really like cold days. Of course, not that cold. And well, in here, there's no very cold weather. And in the place where I live, the worst thing that would happen, it's like some fog. And that's it. And I think that it's a really nice picture when there's a little bit of fog between the trees. It looks nice. It's a good landscape to see. And well, I really prefer cool days. And well, also I enjoy sunny days, but with a little bit of air, because I think that it will be like refreshing. And that's it.
Nice. I love that you mentioned fog. I often forget about fog because it's not that common, but yeah, very romantic. Very nice to see fog.
Fog gives me the creeps a little bit because it reminds me of there was a video game that was popular when I was a kid called Silent Hill. And there's a lot of fog in that game.
Okay, so you have video game associations that are creepy. Yeah, fog does feel like something ominous, something bad might happen in fog, some crimes. We have looks like a Turkish student who has just arrived named Yusuf. So if you are there, Yusuf, you can turn on your camera and say hello to us.
Hello, I'm having a little trouble with connection by computer, so I attended my phone and I'm not sure about the camera.
Okay, well, we can hear you perfectly, so that's nice. We are almost finished our conversation, Yusuf. We started an hour ago, but there was confusion about the timing of this conversation. So don't worry, Yusuf. We will invite you back to the club another time so you can talk to us more. But how are you, Yusuf?
Oh, really?
Yeah. It is.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's almost 9 a.m. here in Toronto. So we were meeting 8 to 9 a.m. So you've almost missed us, but I'm glad to connect with you now.
I was happy because I thought that I'm going to attend early than the class, so I can check. Oh, that's it.
That's okay, Yusuf. It's perfect because you can come to the next meeting and you will then be able to turn on your camera. So it's all perfect, no problem.
Yeah, I hope so.
So, but Yusuf, just before we finish our conversation, how are you? Where are you in Turkey? Which city?
I'm in Istanbul. I'm okay. I'm doing great. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a high school student, so I have my classes.
So do you have online classes for high school?
Yeah.
Oh, not in person right now.
Yeah, we are having online classes.
Yeah. Do you like that? Do you like staying at home in your pajamas, or do you miss normal school?
It depends on my mood. Sometimes it's so hard to connect in 9 a.m. for me, in home at least, but it's great.
Yeah. This is 4 p.m. in Istanbul right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you already finish normal school today?
Yeah, it ends like 2:30 p.m.
Ah, okay. Okay, cool. Oh, so this is a good meeting time for you then. That's cool.
Yeah.
And Yusuf, we've been talking about spring today. What season is it in Turkey right now? Is it spring?
Yeah, it's spring. It's I assume that it's same with Canada.
Yeah, because you are also same hemisphere as us. What's the weather like in Turkey, in Istanbul today?
Well, yeah, in these days, it's really complicated. Well, in the morning, there was snow outside, but now it's sunny. I don't know.
Yeah, that's very similar to
Sounds like Canada.
Canada. We have very changeable weather always, but in the spring, it's cold, hot, rain, wind, snow. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're officially done the live club meeting. So I'll just make a little speech to YouTube and then we'll disconnect from the live. But if Areli or Sun or Yusuf have any questions for me, you guys can stay in the Zoom and ask me questions. But this has been the RCIIS Conversation Club. If you were a student who registered for this meeting, but the time was confusing, don't worry. I will email you and arrange for you to come to the next meeting. So don't worry. But yeah, RCIIS is an international English school in Toronto, Canada, and we offer all of our English classes online in the morning, afternoon, and evening in Toronto, Canada time. And our prices are really, really low, discounted prices right now for online pandemic time. So it's a really great time to study English from the comfort of your home, save your money, and then come to Canada and study abroad with us in the future when you're able to. So I encourage anyone watching on YouTube to not be shy. We have a really friendly staff of counselors who speak different languages. So they can speak to you in your first language and tell you about our English classes and help you make a plan. Our classes are, yeah, a great price. So you should contact us. And our website is rciis.ca. So you can find out more there. But thank you, YouTube audience, for joining us. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Our next club meeting is Wednesday, April 7th in the evening, 7 to 8 p.m. Toronto time. So we'll see you.